Hey guys! That was kind of violent. For those who don't know, let me tell you about the power of lighting. This is not even like... You can call this maybe the shade. This isn't actually lighting, but when you venture into heaven... a little too bright. Because I can promise you, when people say they don't want you to blend in, they want you to stand out, this is pretty much blending in. This is pretty much standing out. Well, according to me. But to be completely honest, normally I would spend like 40 to 45, sometimes an hour doing my makeup. And today I felt like, well, it took me like 5 minutes. But today I was feeling kind of optimistic, if you will, and thought, let me do a part 1 at least about things that I've learned over the past 2 years. Number 1 is not all your friends are your friends, and this can be easily said to anybody. I mean, I've said this over the years on my main channel, that just because they're your friends doesn't mean they're actually your friends. Like, best way I could say this is some people are friends just to be able to have access to you, not necessarily to do good in your life, to care about your health or anything about you. It's more about having that title for them. So be careful with that. Not all your friends are your friends. 2 is a big one for me, because this one was one of the most difficult things to accept, and that's be careful who you confide in. And I know it sounds stupid, it's like, but you know, I have my best friends and I tell them everything. It's like, is that a safe thing to do? Okay, in my case, I don't tell anybody anything. Only person I think I've started to actually... Okay, if you're from South Africa, you'll know what I'm saying. When you just want to skinner. Gossip. I'll mostly just gossip with my mother. Like, honestly. There's nobody else. I would rather just have a laugh and say, did you hear what this one told me? Is she alright in the head? What? Rather with my mother. Because she's not gonna tell anybody. And I'm not gonna tell anybody. So that's key. Be careful. Because some friends, they will tell the entire world what you told them. There isn't a confidentiality agreement there, you hear? I would have to say that number 3 is a bit so, ladies and gentlemen. I would have to say that number 3, don't stress about what you can't control. And I've been guilty of doing that a lot in my relationships in the past, whether it was the people I dated or having to do with people around them. It's like, at the end of the day, the only things that you have control of has to do with yourself. So the way other people will react, the way other people will talk about you, or the way other people think about you, that's out of your control. And it's no use beating yourself up about it, worrying about it, making yourself feel sick about it, because there's nothing you can do about it. So life goes on, guys. That's my new motto. Life goes on. And this one is a big one. I've mentioned it before in my previous videos on my main channel before, but it's a big one and it applies in so many ways, and that is miserable people make people miserable. And this can be in more than one way. Whether you feel miserable, like your day has not been going the way you wanted it, or you're having a bad hair day, or you had a breakout in your face, or you didn't get the mark you wanted on your test. You could be feeling miserable about it, obviously. So then that feeling of being miserable, it's like, don't take it out on other people. Just because you're miserable doesn't mean everyone around you has to be miserable. It's kind of like saying if you are that upset about something, lock yourself in your room and be upset and then walk out with a positive look on life, I'd have to say. But then when you get to the toxic levels of it, and that's people that aren't necessarily miserable because of something, they're more miserable within themselves. And you gotta be careful of those people, because those people will find anything to be miserable about. Like, the water could take too long to boil in the kettle, they'll be miserable. Dinner could take too long to be cooked, they'll be miserable. The sun could be shining in a different color than they expected and they would be miserable. So be careful of those people, guys. Be careful. I have mentioned number 5 many times, but I'm still guilty of not listening. And that is that your mental health is sacred. It's protect it, please. Don't let anyone hurt it for whatever selfish, malicious, messed up reason, because it's your mind, it's your body, it's your spirit, it's your future. Don't allow anyone to mess with it, because you're the one that's gonna have those feelings lingering in yourself, and it takes a long time for you to process all of that once it happens. So take care of yourself, because you're important. On a random note, for those who are probably wondering, oh, but even though the lighting looks somewhat nice, why doesn't you turn on the light? That's why, ladies and gentlemen. Next one is kind of like, it's hard to deal with, but it's true. You need to go through life knowing that not everyone has the same heart as you. That's deep. It's deep. But yeah, not everyone has the same heart as you. If you are a kind, caring person that goes out of your way to be there for others, that doesn't mean that the people you're going out of your way to be there for would actually want you to do that for them. And in the sense that you can be there for them, look after them, help them, give them advice, but they could also be the same people at the end of the day that go, well, I didn't ask you to do that, so I'm not returning the favor. Sadly, we get people like that in the world. Linking to what I said, linking to what I just said, number 7 is just because you, just because you help others and are doing the best for everyone around you doesn't mean they'll value or appreciate it. So it's really crazy how people are these days. I mean, you could literally say you using all your strength to be kind to people who you know talk the worst about you. That doesn't mean that anyone who you were doing it for would appreciate it. So it's one of the hard things I had to learn. Maybe you've learned it too. I don't know. Twinsies vibes. I don't know. This is a big one. Number 8. This is a big one. Loving them more won't make them love you. That's like, but it's true. Loving them more won't make them love you, girl. Like, really. You could climb to the top of Mount Everest for a guy and they would still be like, you could have jumped off it too. Done some flying, grown some wings. Look, I can laugh about this now because, what is that thing they say? I think Sheldon Cooper said it once. What? Comedy is tragedy plus time. But yeah. Number 9 is something I actually have spoken about a lot to my friends, and it's been taking some time for them to believe me because they're going through it too. Well, I went through it. They're currently going through it. But that is crying every day. Girl, that's not normal in a relationship. That is not normal. If you wake up every day and you feel exhausted and you are like dragging yourself through the day, and then you're crying yourself through the night, and then you wake up and it's the same thing every day where you're just feeling tired, you're feeling exhausted, you're not getting enough sleep, your eyes are sore because you're crying all the damn time, and your mental health is suffering, your mind is wondering, how the hell did I get to this point? Like, that's not how your relationship's supposed to make you feel every day, boo. Get out of it. Run away. Run away now. Linking to that, number 10 would have to be that if it's hurting you, it's not for you. Literally. It took me a long ass time to understand this. But if it's hurting you, whether it's a friend, whether it's a best friend, whether it's a boyfriend, whether it's a girlfriend, whether it's a parent, whether it's a brother, whether it's a cousin, I don't know if it's your second cousin twice removed, uncle, what, anything. If it's hurting you, it's not meant for you. Because, I mean, think about it. Would anyone that's meant to be in your life be meant to hurt you all the time? And I'm not talking about like if they make an accident, like they accidentally hurt your feelings, or if you maybe have a fight like once in a blue moon. Not that. I'm talking like if they constantly go out of their way to purposefully make you miserable and feel like you're dying inside. Let them go. Let them go, girl. Or guy. Or they. Let them go. But yeah, just a lovely vlog trying to tell y'all some things that I've learned these last 2 years. And her voice just broke. Don't eat pretzels before you record a video.